We had one faculty member that I called the iconoclast. He loved finding an idol and smashing it down. That could be one of your favorite beliefs or your understanding of a verse. Could be many things, but he loved to get under your skin with some new information. That man was Ed Goodrick, and he and I at first didn't get along real well. But by the end of our time together, he was one of my favorite people. Now, before I got to Multnomah, he had decided it was a good idea to buy a donkey and go to Israel, and the phrase from Dan in the north to Beersheba in the south, to walk from Dan to Beersheba with a donkey and be able to experience the whole land of Israel. That's the kind of man Ed was. For a while, the faculty had lunches separate from the students. And there was advantages and disadvantages. But sometimes nobody wanted to sit next to Ed. The reason was, Ed would start discussing theology, and if he thought you were wrong, he not only thought you should be refuted, you should be refuted loud enough so everyone in the room knew where you were wrong. And I would usually try to sit next to him. And he could refute me, but I never left lunch without being a better teacher and thinking better about Scripture. I think he won every debate. There were only two that I think I might have won, and he probably wouldn't agree. But I'm remembering those lunch debates. His method was, the best way to learn a language is to see it and read it and read it. Once I was at a conference and a seminary student read a paper that had a lot of Greek in it. Ed was there. After the presentation, we're talking and asking the student, the seminary student, some questions, and he doesn't realize Ed Goodrick has forgotten more Greek than he will ever know. And I'm sitting watching this going, this poor guy. So Ed's asking him questions. And then in the middle of this, Ed sarcastically, the student didn't pick up on it, but I think the rest of us did. He sarcastically said, "This is amazing. You're doing the grammar of a language you can't read. That's amazing." The whole week I thought about that sentence. You're doing the grammar of a language you can't read. And I said, that's the genius of what he's doing. The only person who can really feel the grammar is not someone who memorized rules. It's someone who can read it, whatever the language is. One of my most difficult times with Ed was when I made a presentation at a conference. I gave a presentation of one of the things that was going to be in my book in decision making. Ed was, of course, there as one of the teachers. Ed wasn't happy with what I said. Well, I was used to that from lunchtime. So he raises his hand, he asks a question, and I do my best to answer, but he's not happy. So he does a follow-up question, and a follow-up question, and a follow-up question. The whole group wants to ask a question, but Ed won't stop. He kept asking, and poor Al Bayless, who was running the meeting, is trying to get his friend Ed to back down from this new teacher, but I don't remember that he ever did. The questions just kept coming. I was thrilled when he asked that I be one of his pallbearers, because he had maybe the most influence on my life as a teacher and a colleague, especially in the language of Greek. And I happened to be there on the night when he entered glory.